Yeah, well,
1900 on the dot.
Say it's live, you can start whenever, so.
I'm going to open our liquor license transfer hearing, announcing that all 7 members of council are present, and I'll turn this hearing over to our solicitor, Joe London.
okay, thank you. This is the time, date, and place advertised for the hearing for the intermunicipal transfer of liquor license number R15796, premises location 2851 Perkiomen Avenue. Application is of H&Y Investments. Before the hearing begins, I will read the exhibits into the record. You have, council has, and council for the applicant has been provided with copies of the borough's exhibits. Tab Borough Exhibit 1 is a cover letter dated April 7th, 2026, from Deathless Pykush and Murphy Attorneys at Law, signed by Attorney Frank C. Slouzas, with a request for hearing before council on the liquor license transfer. Exhibit 2 is the letter from the same attorney for the applicant with a commercial zoning permit application, and noting that hearing will be held on May 14th, 2026 at this time, and a check in the amount of $1,000 representing the fee for a hearing before council, and attaching a copy of the commercial zoning permit application, stating that the current use of the property is vacant, the prior use was as a fast food restaurant, and the proposed use is a restaurant with a restaurant liquor license, and attaching as an exhibit the legal description of the property and the tax map showing the dimensions of the property. Exhibit 3 is the public notice of the hearing, stating the date, place, and time, and that it is for the transfer of the restaurant liquor license. The license was previously held in Tilden Township. Exhibit 4 is a copy of the advertisement that ran in the Reading Eagle on April 24th and May 5th, 2026. It is a notice of hearing, and the Reading Eagle, for the record, is the newspaper of general circulation in the borough of St. Lawrence. There's a proof of the ad as well as a copy of the ad as it ran on those 2 dates in the legal classified sections of the newspaper. Borough Exhibit 5 is a copy of the affidavit of posting. Borough Manager Garrett Rhodes signed the affidavit saying that the notice was posted at the property at 2851 Perkiomen Avenue, and that was done on May 1st, 2026, and with a copy of the public notice. Exhibit 6 is an affidavit of posting signed by Logan Wood, Borough Public Works employee, and on May 1st, 2026. The notice was posted, I believe that the notice was posted by Mr. Wood at the site, and that Mr. Rhodes would have posted it at the Borough Municipal Building. Okay, I correct that. Exhibit 7 is the affidavit of mailing by the Borough Secretary, Amanda Musso, that on April 24th, 2026, Ms. Musso did mail or cause to be mailed notices within 500 feet of the tract boundary of the subject property, 2851 Perkiomen Avenue. A copy of the notice of public hearing attaches the cover letter giving notice as well as the list of properties. And Borough Exhibit 8 is a copy of the letter dated April 23rd, 2026, signed by Amanda Musso, Borough Secretary, and in her capacity as Planning Commission Secretary, that the Planning Commission has determined that the proposed transfer does not impede upon surrounding properties, and the Planning Commission finds no evidence that the transfer poses any risk to the health, safety, welfare, or morals of the community. The Commission's evaluation included consideration of potential impacts on neighboring land uses, community standards, and public well-being. And based on our findings, the Planning Commission fully supports the approval of this liquor license transfer, believing that it will, quote, contribute positively to the community while maintaining the standards and protections valued by our residents. Those are the borough exhibits. Would council like to enter his appearance?
Yes, my name is Frank Sluzis, S-L-U-Z-I-S. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, H&Y Investment LLC.
Okay, and could you identify your witnesses?
Yes, I have the managing member of the LLC, H&Y Investment LLC. Gentleman's name is Yogesh Patel.
Could you spell the first name, please?
Yes, Y-O-G-E-S-H, last name P-A-T-E-L.
And would you like to have your witness sworn now if he's going to be testifying?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
It's just like, if I can, I don't want to bore you guys, and because I'm not sure if you know about the history or the procedure of the intermunicipal liquor license transfer. Section 461 of the Liquor Code allows for intermunicipal transfers within a county, provided the receiving municipality approves it. That resolution or ordinance then gets attached to the application, transfer application itself. In this case, maybe about 3 years ago, 461 was further amended to allow for what we call in the trade zombie licenses, the sale of them at a PLCB auction. They're licenses that have either not been renewed, nuisance bars, failed to be renewed by way of filing the proper fees and things like that nature. Ones that were in safekeeping and safekeeping ran out, didn't get an extension. So about 3 years ago, the General Assembly decided, well, let's put them back in circulation. So at the 14th PLCB auction, that was in October of last year, my client purchased this, was a successful bidder, and purchased this liquor license. It was originally in Tilden Township. Therefore, that's why we're here. We want to transfer it. It is a restaurant liquor license. Restaurant liquor licenses are sort of the cream of the crop when it comes to retail licenses. You're allowed to sell wine and spirits, malt and brewed beverages. You can do it for takeout, malt and brewed beverages, that is. 192 fluid ounces per transaction. You can now do, if you have a special permit or wine expansion permit, you can sell 3 liters of wine for takeout as well. Just a little bit something I have, which I've marked, had the reporter mark as applicant 1. It's just a series, and I'm sure everybody's kind of familiar with the premises. And here it is. Especially I wanted you to take notice of the off-street parking, which will not in any way hamper the residents' parking or even traffic flow. We think at least what is listed as 24 parking spaces. However, you go out there and look at it, I think that may be a very conservative number. I have Mr. Patel, of course, here will testify. He has 15 plus years in the hospitality, restaurant, food industry. And the concept will basically be sort of a sports bar concept. There will be no entertainment other than TVs to watch the sports, obviously. But there will be no bands, there will be no live entertainment, that kind of thing. Your old-time neighborhood. I'm from the coal region, so we have a lot of those. So that kind of thing, if you're ever up there in the coal region. Anyway, here's Mr. Patel, and he's here to answer any questions you might have.
So myself, I started in the retail business in 2010. I started with my father-in-law's gas station, the convenience store. And that's how I learned how to do the business, basically. Done a couple of convenience stores, own a hotel in New Holland. Also, I have a partner that runs a successful Popeyes franchisee, if you guys know. So we kind of sort of in that business and successfully completed this license, and would like to do, bring that business here in this township.
Let me just ask you a few questions, Mr. Patel. I mean, first of all, restaurant liquor licenses by law can sell alcoholic beverages at 2 a.m. The patrons must be out no later than 2:30 a.m. according to liquor code. But do you have any, I understand that we're not up and running yet, but do you have any plans of what your hours and days of the week might be?
At this point, we are looking at opening at about 6, 7 a.m. and closing it around 10, 11. No extended hours yet. We haven't planned it. This is the hours we're gonna be sitting at. Just mainly focusing on the retail business, not going extensively as a bar or entertainment area. So that's what we are thinking.
Just a little caveat, if you open at 6 o'clock, you can't sell alcohol until 7. However, if you're going to be open with alcoholic beverages on the premises, we'll have to get an extended hours permit.
Yes.
Allow you to be open and not sell. A lot of things in the liquor code. Okay.
Yeah, we can work with that.
All right. Any questions? That's the extent of my presentation. I would move for the applicants of Exhibit 1.
I'll have a few questions.
Surely.
Okay, you said that there are conservatively 24 off-street parking spaces. How many seats do you intend to have in the restaurant?
30 or more.
30 or more seats?
Yes.
And that includes bar seating?
We are not planning on any bar. It's gonna be just regular sittings.
Okay. You had said that you've been in the hospitality industry for a long time and have operated other establishments. What other restaurants and bars have you operated?
Particularly restaurants, it's a Popeyes franchisee food business.
Mhm.
So we haven't, I have a partner who has experience with the restaurant and the liquor together. And so he's gonna be the main conducting operating partner with this business. Yeah.
So you have never operated a liquor licensed establishment in the past?
No, I haven't personally.
Okay, you haven't personally, but your business partner
Partner
has,
has, yes.
has. How many other licensed establishments has your business partner operated?
One.
One. Can you tell me what the name of that and where it's located?
Popeyes food franchisee?
Okay, the one that was a liquor licensee though.
No, not with the legal license.
Okay, you said your business partner though operated. Do you know what restaurant liquor license he operated?
Not restaurant, but just the legal license as a beer distributor and Popeyes franchisee, not together.
Okay, so he had a beer distributorship?
Yes, Jonestown beer distributor.
Okay, Jonestown, Lebanon
Jonestown,
County?
Lebanon County,
All right. Did he have any problems with the PLCB,
No.
the distributorship that
yeah.
you're aware of?
No, that I know.
Do you intend to sell beer or wine for takeout?
Yes.
Right, and do you know what percentage of your sales, what the intention is, takeout versus on-premises consumption?
No, that I don't have off of my head.
Okay, and do you have, is there, so it's not part of your business model?
It is, but I haven't intended to, I don't know how much it will sell as a takeout. So we are trying to start a stream as takeout as well as a serving as well. More we are focused as a takeout business,
Okay.
not on-premise consumption. That's what we are looking at mostly.
Mostly takeout then?
Yeah,
Not
mostly.
on-premises consumption? So, this will be a restaurant where there will be food served?
Yes,
Will the emphasis on site be on food sales or
food
beverage sales?
sales.
have a full kitchen?
Yes.
And is the intention to open at 6 AM, mainly for breakfast?
Not, so we are trying to plan as a convenience for retail as well, including all other items like, packaged food or packaged beverages, non-alcoholic beverages as well, as a convenient for the customers as well, including the liquor license, so they can buy beers, sodas, everything at the same time. Just like, let me give you an example as like Wawa or Sheet does. Kind of that, including the hot food as well, without the gas.
I mean, I think, for example, Rutgers up in
Right,
Hamburg.
yeah, exactly.
Now, they have food service.
Service, yes.
And they also have, beer and wine for takeout. And I assume
And
allows
also-
some limited on-premises consumption. Is that the
Yeah.
model that you were looking at?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Do you know what, in your business model, what percentage would be food sales versus what percentage would be beverage sales, what your intention is?
I'm looking at mostly 50-50. As of now, as per my experience, it would be, that's the way to go. How it will work out, I don't know, but that's what our intention is, go at food and beverage at the same level.
Are you familiar with the LCB's ramp training requirements?
Yes.
Will your
all
employees
levels.
serving alcohol be ramp trained?
Trained, yes, correct.
And will you have scanners for ID?
Yes. Correct.
Those are my questions. Does council have
I just
questions?
have one. So you're planning on like a grab-and-go type thing?
Kind of, yes.
And made to order?
Or,
And
exactly.
if you want to grab a six-pack of beer for later on for
Yes,
the baseball
yes,
game, you can
correct.
grab that at 6
Correct.
o'clock in the morning if you want.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yes.
Put that on my calendar.
any other questions from council?
If I may add a couple of questions, I'll just ask them. So what type of food is this going to be?
We are looking at mostly gourmet or break-oven pizzas. We have one person that has a knowledge of more Popeye's chicken, so we're gonna be incorporating some chicken, but mostly the grab and go kind of thing where, because it's a traffic area, people are not gonna be walking around or things like that. It's morely grab and go sandwiches, burgers, things like that.
All right, and are you out of town, or how often will you stop into the business to see how it's doing?
That hasn't been fully put in the plan yet, but mainly there are two operators that has experience within this business, so they're gonna be, one of the partner will be staying here, around here, so I will be not fully in the operation, I might stop by here and there, but the person who have more experience, the other partner and his colleague or whatever, they will run the business mostly.
Okay, and I heard you say you're gonna sell the food, the beer, and the wine. What other things are you gonna sell?
Beverages, we're gonna have a full fledged of all the non-alcoholic beverages as well that goes along with it. Maybe some convenient items for all the burgers and sheets on people are selling like medicines, things like that. So it's like kind of, one, what do you call that? One-stop shop kind of thing.
Okay. Would you sell cigarettes there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And any other type of like smoking things?
No.
Okay, all right. And I was not at the planning meeting, and I don't see, did you purchase this building, or you
It's
leased?
it's under an agreement of sale.
Okay, all right.
However, it is contingent on
Continue.
PLCB approval of
Okay,
this application.
okay, all right. Okay, that's all I have.
I have two questions. Derek Rose, Borough Manager. Do you intend on having any skill machines, or the, not games of chance, but the Pennsylvania skill games in your establishment?
Only if it is allowed by the township or the state or whatever, if it is legal.
Okay.
We have other establishments that they have it, but we are not intending to have it here until and unless it's approved.
Okay, if it is approved, would you intend to have them in there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many you would intend to have in there if allowed?
It's other establishment, we have limit of 6, so it might be somewhere around that, 3 to 6.
Okay.
If I may interject, depending on the current bill that's before the General Assembly, there may be a limit only, if it passes, of course, of 3.
3,
But I don't know where that, I don't know if it
It's
gets traction or not.
And you would say at this point, you're not banking on the skill machines being a part of your business?
No, not at all.
Are you intending on having smoking on premise inside?
No, not at all.
Those are my questions.
Does anyone else on council have any questions?
Okay.
Anything else you would like to
Now,
present?
the council have anything of me? No.
And we'll admit, the photos applicant won't need evidence for the hearing.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, now, Attorney Slouzis has prepared a draft resolution.
Let me just pass it out so they can see.
Sure, I looked at it briefly. It is basically the LCB's, language for the approval of a liquor license transfer. I've seen them in the past. And what it says is that it's the findings of Borough Council that the transfer of the liquor license from Tilden Township to St. Lawrence by H&Y Investment will not adversely affect the health, welfare, peace, and morals of the municipality or its residents, and that we've had a properly advertised hearing and approves by the adoption of resolution the transfer.
So you want to conclude the hearing then, and we can take a vote?
Yes, if we're ready to conclude the hearing, and nobody has any further questions. All right, so we'll conclude the hearing then, and just transcribe the vote next. So I'll need a.
So is there a motion to pass resolution 940-2026, which would be council to approve the liquor license transfer?
So moved.
Second. Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
ladies and gentlemen. May we be excused?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay though. You'll find our council meetings interesting.
I looked at some of the minutes, and sometimes this gets a little.
This is easy compared to some.
We're only here because we have to be.
But again, thank you very much. Everybody enjoy your evening.
Welcome to the borough.
Thank you.
Just have to announce the end of hearing.
It's already announced, yes.
Yeah, it's concluded the hearing.
It's concluded, so court reporter's also excused for the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just back
You
to
probably
Unless you want to
got,
stay.
you probably got another hearing to
So
go
we're
to.
going to start our regular meeting in 6 minutes if someone needs a.
All right, we'll talk.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Pleasure.
Yeah, Dave. thanks.
Very nice.
Leading, who pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Robert May is here, Michael Fritz is here, Greg Jalal is here, Derek Rose, manager, is here, Amanda Musso, secretary, is here, Dave Eggert, vice president, is here, Steve Geibel is here, Corey Zana, mayor, is here, Sam Stevens, engineer, is here, Logan Woods, public works, is here, D. Michael Benetham is here, Warren Lubenow is here, and Joan London is our solicitor. Is there a motion to approve the council meetings from March 10th, 2026?
So moved. Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to approve the council meeting minutes from March 10th. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
I abstain.
Abstain because you weren't here.
I wasn't here.
Approval and payment of bills. Is there a motion to approve the consolidated payment of bills reported as $134,004.05 from our general fund, $4,573.62 from liquid fuels, $67,432.83 from the sewer fund, 0 expenditures from fire, and 0 from EMS.
Motion to pay the bills as presented.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to pay the bills as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the treasury report, and before you see the fund balances as of April 30th, general fund has $342,013.53. Liquid fuels is $157,673.73. Fire tax is $28,518.28. EMS tax has $21,569.99. Sewer fund has $218,373.14. Our reserve accounts have $426,729.48. You'll see a total fund balance of $1,194,878.15. Our general fund, we have an escrow account of $15,000. We also have an outstanding loan balance for this location of $568,118.56. Is there a motion to accept and file for audit our consolidated treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Public comment?
There's a
Wait,
second.
there's a second
Oh,
There's a
motion.
second motion to amend the March's treasurer's report. There's
Oh,
some
sorry.
Numbers got mixed up in there.
So is there a motion to accept and file for audit the April 2026 consolidated treasurer's report?
Amended March.
Amended March.
So moved.
Second.
So the motion has been moved and seconded to approve the amended March 2026 treasurer's report. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Public comment? Hearing none. None coming in via electronic means. Consultants report. Borough engineer.
Well, FEMA finally approved that ordinance, so, I don't know, 3 years later, just something like that. So we'll be officially on your June agenda.
All right, so we need an authorization to advertise.
I think we had one a while ago to advertise all of the stuff. Do we need another one to?
I would
advertise
put it, just so it's in the record, to authorization to advertise
For the June meeting.
for the June meeting, yeah.
Make a motion to authorize the borough manager to advertise the floodplain ordinance for adoption at the June 2026 meeting.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to advertise the floodplain ordinance. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Anything else, engineer?
Sherry officially starts full-time on Monday. So, thank you again for mentioning her in public, she's doing great, and we're very excited to have a local.
Does your firm give a $500 referral fee?
Let me tell you how.
We'll see that on the next bill.
That'd be nice to get
A credit bursary.
Yeah, since I'm one of the principals, I don't get points for that. But if another engineer that's not a shareholder, yes, there is a value to the individual, depends on what.
Like a hat or something?
No.
Financial.
I mean, it's free monetary. Monetary.
Finder's nice.
So if it's, PE or EIT, it's gonna be significant amount. But again, it's encouraging to network around you. But again, you networked to me and you were please, so I want to thank her again for letting us steal her from you.
So did she graduate this?
She just graduated.
Just
Yep.
from where?
Berks, Penn State. Yep. And she wants to be in the water wastewater industry, so that's all to her. Yeah,
What was her degree in?
it's Bachelor of Science in Civil, is my understanding.
Oh, did she already take the fundamental test?
I'm not sure if she did. I think we encourage any of the people we interview, take it while you're still in school before you get out. That's what I do. It's much easier to pass. If you wait, it's horrific.
Brutal.
Yeah. But no, again, thank you. That's all I have. So excited to share that fantastic news.
Solicitor, anything to report?
Well, we had.
Did you hire anybody we referred?
Haven't had too many new hires lately. Liquor license transfer hearing was already completed. The balance of my items will be an executive session on litigation.
Outstanding. Mayor?
All right, I have a pretty healthy report this time. Police Commission meeting was held May 7th. There was much discussion about the replacement of the emergency radios in Berks County. Chief Johnson discussed reinstating a bike route, also a walking patrol for certain circumstances in certain areas of town. There was a high volume, well, in Mount Penn and Lower Alsace, there was a high volume of citations issued mostly for high grass. And the police have instituted an autism-inspired sticker that they are distributing, and this will help officers with awareness on certain incidences of maybe a traffic stop and who's in the vehicle and certain ways to handle it. This is just now an update of things that I was doing. Warren Lubenow and I attended the commissioner's breakfast, and a big discussion was the radio replacement and the planning of America's 250th. I also attended the Visitors Bureau breakfast. They have a new brand, it's called Experience Reading in Berks, and St. Lawrence is included in a program that they're running called Imagine Berks. And I had a chart with meetings on it, and I left it at home. So I'll have to get that and see if anyone would like to attend the meeting. Yesterday, I did a Channel 69 News time train on the history of St. Lawrence. We filmed up at Derek's Overlook, and then we came down here to the Borough building. Centennial.
Can you get a copy of that when they finally air it? Can you get like a MP4 or something like that and have them sent to us?
I could probably get it sent to me and then send it out to you. I believe.
We can play it on an endless loop.
Yeah, when do they think it's gonna be?
June 8th. Yeah, till it gets edited. You'll also be able to go, which you can do now, Google Berks Time Train. We were number 284, yeah.
All of them are on YouTube, I looked it up.
Yeah,
Interesting
there's
stuff.
some really good stuff on there, yeah. So Centennial, we continue discussions. We're not having a meeting in May, but in June, I'm gonna come in and sit with Amanda, and her and I are just gonna sit together and hash out a few things and really take a step forward with that. And then I have listed the members of the committee, and then some of the things that we had talked about, which I believe you got in the last minutes that I did. And that's
Who's
all.
Marianne and Cheryl and Amy? Because there's no last names.
Yeah, because I don't know their last names.
Sure.
Marianne is Marianne Lubenow.
Okay.
Cheryl
spelled differently,
A
but-
Stripe, and Amy is A Stripe. And Charlene,
Zawalski.
okay, and George is with the POS Bay.
Just because it's public funds and it's sort of like a public meeting, can you make sure we have like minutes, or have Amanda take the minutes with attendance and things like that, just so we have a record? So,
Yes.
thank you. Scribe. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Outstanding. Any reports coming up? Finance Borough Manager.
My report is in the back of the book. Finance, all payrolls done, bank accounts reconciled, April treasury report. Quarter one EIT and LC report is all the end of the month stuff for April. Zoning, can we move to the next thing? Zoning hearing, the local code enforcement, we sent out a notice or a letter of notice violation for high grass. That's probably gonna have to get cut by someone, because I don't think that's gonna get taken care of. We had one door tag go out, and the reminder is to make sure that if you see them around there with high grass, kindly remind them to mow it and take care of their lawn.
And help me refresh my memory, high grass is like 6 inches?
8.
8 inches. Bigger than a dollar bill. Anything else? Public safety, emergency management?
Nothing.
I do have a question
Oh, back up.
for Mr. Eggert. Since you're at the comm center, I'm just curious to know if anything had come through your network there about the radio replacement stuff.
No,
Okay.
they didn't really tell us on the floor, because it doesn't really affect us.
I was just curious.
We're all base station.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if anything had filtered through there, only because discussion has erupted through the county about radio replacements. And then one of the big issues at that county commissioners breakfast was that everyone seemed to be unaware of this, which I don't disagree with, because a lot of the emails from the county weren't like, the radios are being replaced, or the ones you have are getting phased out. It was just, would you like new radios? Like, the emails that were sent out were just, here's the county financing to buy new radios.
So they didn't actually come out and say,
And per the.
these radios are being phased out because, and they.
Yeah, a little history, they were bought so many years ago.
Yeah.
I believe they can't get parts to fix
Right.
the present radios.
No.
And I believe they said they were like 10 to 12 years old, the current radios. Now, one thing that the police said that they're going to do is to not replace radios that are in their vehicles, because they use more or less the handheld and the mics
Well, it's portable.
more than everything, so.
Ones in the vehicles.
And if you don't opt to go in it now, and then your radios fail, then you're in for a big expense just to buy 1 or 2 radios,
Yeah.
so.
Last time the county changed radios, if I remember correctly, they came out where they would loan you the money, and the wording was so terrible that we refused to sign that.
That's very similar to what you said, because he literally just sent out a blanket email saying, here's what the county will offer you for financing.
Right, and so we wouldn't sign that, and we just paid out of pocket to get radios at that point, or whatever our share was.
And also, I've heard varying reports on this. Basically, the county's, or my interpretation is that the county expects you to hand in your old radio when you purchase a new radio.
It's not like when they hand in your new
Almost like-
sewing machine, and they go, we need to trade in, and they take a hammer to it, so they can't ever use the parts anywhere else.
Because one of the things I asked was that if you could, and this is to a local fire company, I asked, well, what if you have old radios, you could just phase in your old radios and your new radios, because you'll have a batch of old radios. But I was told that you have to hand in your old radios to be able to take on the county rate that they're offering with their financing. I wasn't sure if you heard.
I will ask some questions.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah.
Radios that you own, you have to turn in.
If you would like to get the county offered financing.
You have to turn in the old
Pricing.
Yeah, that's probably some sort of trade.
There's probably some kind of, the pricing is probably contingent on trade-ins.
It's with Motorola again, so.
It's all the same, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that at the breakfast, but
I just know this has caused a huge buzz in the community of
Yeah.
elected officials, because now managers and everyone's like, where are we coming up with this money?
That
Like,
was
where
a
did this
big
come
buzz at the
from?
meeting too,
Oh, yeah.
went on forever.
When's the deadline, or when's it all gonna trigger?
Next year is supposedly when the new radios come online.
Gotcha.
And that is also the deadline, once you are in the new, whatever you wanna call that frequency, those new radios. Well, I'm just saying, once you're in the new radio era, those old radios, once they break,
It's out.
you have to go
Yeah.
to a new one. That is what I was told. I wasn't sure if you had heard anything different.
No, I didn't hear anything. The funny thing is, when I was up at Smith's Candy, one of the guys up there who runs the Lebanon County Fire Company was talking to a buddy of his who's in Berks County, and he was asking me about it. I haven't heard anything about having to get new radios.
What's the out-of-pocket for new radios for us?
Through the county, it's 6,500, but that's.
Without their financing, what is it?
Per radio, 6,500.
Yeah.
That's through the county, so if you don't go with the county, I don't know what the cost is.
You're probably.
Well, the county's paying the list, they're just sort of financing it for you.
I think the county's
Yeah,
getting,
so-
the county's getting bulk rate discount.
Yeah, well, yeah, Bell's
So can you email back, is this the great Brian in charge of all this?
Mr. Gotcha, yes.
Yeah.
6,500.
Can you ask the questions like, okay, what is our, if we bulk buy from you, but we pay total fee, what would the cost be? And see what he says.
So I can find that out. I was, like I know, you're at the comm center, so I wasn't sure if there was a buzz going through there.
No.
We have,
If need be, I can also talk to Ryan.
the one thing about it is that, we do have portables up there, and we actually have 2 portables for each radio position for if we go into what's called site trunking, where it goes, part of the radio system goes down. We're gonna be using handhelds in the comm center. One's for north site trunking, one's for south site trunking. So there's 7 radio positions times 2, that's 14 radios. Now, the ones we have up there don't have the shoulder rank, they're not hardened for fire use, it's a very basic radio. So I'm wondering if that 6,500, is that a radio that we would have to get?
I don't know.
Because,
Is that because it's XP and everything else, like it's rated to go into other,
well,
explosion area,
intrinsically
explosion
safe.
or stuff like that, and other ones don't have to have that rating, so you don't pay for that.
I think I don't think that for emergency management, we certainly don't need intrinsically safe radios, because,
All I can tell you, years ago, in Motorola, we were told to have XP pagers, this was like 20 years ago.
well, there.
And it was the same pager, they made them the same way, they just had the stamp on it, for intrinsically safe.
Yeah.
And it was about $2,000 more that they sold them for the same, for all that, so
Well,
I'm just asking,
well, yeah, because all our fire, the Motorola pagers I had, especially the minute or twos, were all intrinsically safe. But,
All right,
I'll,
move forward, put it in the budget.
It was a hot discussion out of that commissioner's breakfast that spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
okay.
Public Works, what's new?
A lot, actually, now. We did all of our mulching earlier on here.
Like
Got
up at the playground and everything?
the playground, all the certified mulch on the playground, all our black mulch down at Borough Hall here.
Looks good.
Did some beautification as well. The Levan Street spillway, or culvert, whatever you want to call that, we did some major renovations to protect our asset there, removing trees that were growing up against our structure. Looks great now.
Yeah, I'll add, I went down there a couple days ago. It is a fantastic improvement. I was very impressed, better than I expected. What I also did is I went up.
Better than what you expect.
Oh, yeah, it is very well done. It's, the angle that it's at is
I can't
I went back into Levan Estate, probably 50, 75 yards, and cleaned out all the branches and everything that were in the spillway that would get sucked down there.
Okay.
So I've done some of that for you. I did it the other day.
As far as streets go, we are planning our patching schedule for the summer. And
Flagger training.
flagger training, yeah.
Next week.
So yard waste is gonna still be on Mondays, except for Monday, the 25th. It will be picked up on Tuesday, the 26th, instead of Monday.
For Memorial Day.
The general public listening. Finally getting somewhere on the garage as well. We are starting preparation for our site pad. And hopefully gonna be moving forward pretty quickly on that.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, when we get that built, what's the plan for the storage containers that are up in the back of the woods?
Whatever ones we can consolidate down and basically sell, that's what we'll do. And I don't know how much room we will gain, because I will say, some of the stuff that's in this container is just basically deadhead storage.
Yeah.
So when we gain access to the container at the top of Adams, it's which one do we keep for deadhead storage? So,
municipal. When do you have an idea with the superstructure of the garage being authorized and when they would be able to install?
Well, I know tonight, I think we're gonna have a discussion later with Mike. We're gonna kind of go over some items.
Okay.
We have some possible extra room out there that might give us a bigger garage, so
All right, we'll move forward.
And Med gave permission?
they are amenable to it.
As long as we cover it with a non-conductive coating, you know, I think so. That yellow radish they put up for the lawns, that's it, we could do
We can put in some skill machines.
it. Yeah. Committee, Mike Fritz, anything from the library?
Place is broken.
Joint comprehensive plan, Warren.
They're just about ready to finalize it. I think in the next month, we should have a meeting, I forget the date of it, but it should be finalized. You know, there's some things in there which, they still have it in there that we'd like to see Perkiomen Avenue with sidewalks. And I have told them repeatedly, you know, right by those houses that are right there, there's no room to put sidewalks. The houses are right against almost the curb, and then people are parking there. Put sidewalks in, you take away parking. I've told them repeatedly that that's not possible. They say, okay, if there's some redevelopment that goes on, then you might think about it. I said, okay.
Like never.
Right. And also the
Yeah.
old pet store and stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna put sidewalks on that side of the road, going up and around with that building the way it's there right now. And yet, it's still in there that if there's, you know, redevelopment, that then we would consider doing that. So,
Municipal lands,
That's good stuff.
I'm gonna talk about municipal lands.
oh, municipal league, I'm sorry, I missed it. Yeah, okay. One thing, I don't know if anybody knows, but we did have a fire on our land, right behind those two storage containers, back a week ago this past Saturday. And I found out from Steve that we happened to run into each other at a funeral, but he told me about it on Sunday, and Sunday about 5:30, I went up there just to see how bad it was, and it was smoldering. There was an area that was smoldering, and smoke was coming out, and I could see some red glow down in there. So after, you know, calling a few people, close friends, I called 911, and Exeter came up and with their brush truck and a tanker truck, and extinguished this fire that was about that big around. But it raises the question, when you have a fire like that, is there any follow-up to make sure that it is out a day later or something?
Yeah, they do that in mountain fires.
Yeah. I mean, apparently that was not done
Especially when it's in
here.
woods and all the fuel on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. You know, is there somebody that's supposed to go and, you know, they put out the fire, come back a day later and make sure there's nothing smoldering when it's back away? I don't know.
Normally, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even under NFPA like 30, you only have to have like a 2-hour fire watch if you're doing welding or cutting or anything. So, you know, 2 hours is about the max you're ever gonna see anybody. And almost everybody puts that down to 1, you know.
Well, I'm not expecting them to stay there, but just,
I was actually up at the fire on Saturday getting some of the rigs cleaned up for the service that I saw one out on Sunday. And we're sitting on the apron, we see this smoke, we're like, looks like it might be a brush fire. We didn't get dispatched till at least, I guess someone else discovered it, like 45 minutes to an hour later.
Do we have our remote cameras up there?
Now we've discussed about putting them up there.
It was suspicious, like how would that?
I would say, I haven't heard from any fire company yet as far as what the start or what the ignition source of that was.
Is it in a mulch or is it just brush?
I think it
it's
just,
in the leaves and stuff.
Yeah,
You know where the two containers, those two storage containers are? Behind them,
Oh,
up
behind
above, there's an area maybe the size of this room.
There were some down trees.
There were a lot of down
that were
trees.
actually
And a lot of
Fire.
leaves. Wouldn't take much to get it started.
It took a lot of water.
Are you still under drought though, right?
Oh, absolutely, we're under drought.
Yeah.
Burn ban,
If anyone is up in the woods and, even if it's a small area, call 911 please, because that way we can get an exact location of your phone and we can pin it and dispatch it to the right people. The person that called it in, who is a St. Lawrence resident, who lives right up against the woods, was arguing with our call taker that, because the call taker said, well, that showed, looks like it's in Exeter Township. No, it's in St. Lawrence. I should know, your maps are wrong. No, they're not, because his property line is the Borough Township border. He wasn't aware, now, I mean, we own the land, but it's still in Exeter Township, different run card. So, I just, don't argue with him, just, send it over to me in Exeter and.
Yeah, it was definitely in St. Lawrence. Fire.
You don't wanna get a wireless camera up there, you wanna look for an infrared camera? You know, like the ones that are the infrared for fire. Maybe that might be cheaper than having a camera that alarms.
I know they have cellular style, basically like game cameras. I don't know what the cost on those are.
$90 for a unit, and it's $25 a month for the cellular plan, and that gets sent immediately to your phone.
Once you investigate that, and instead of getting a camera or something like that, because then someone always has to be sort of watching it, we'd be better off with a sensor, especially infrared, especially if it's narrowed into the, it has to be an actual flame. Yeah. All right.
Okay, well, I guess one other side effect to that is after it was all put out, I'm talking to the guys, thanking them and all that sort of stuff, and one of them said, gee, would you be willing to let us come up here and train our new recruits on fighting forest fires? Go up and just let them use some training up there. So I said, I can't say yes, but we could.
Live, does that mean like live fire training?
No, just.
Oh, to go up, this is how you cut back or whatever.
Yeah, right, this is how you
Fire
go,
line,
and
yeah.
here's what you would do. And they said, then we'd also be clearing trails for you. You know, our guys will go up and help clear trails and do
You
stuff
did
like
have
that.
to cut the chain.
Yeah. Well, they did mention if they had a key, they wouldn't have had to cut the chain.
I
You
think
didn't cut the
Exeter
lock,
Central
the
Berks.
chain's cheaper than a lock.
Now, if they had the key with them, I mean, it's,
Yeah, or a combination.
yeah.
Hey, Derek, just write a quick memo to Berks Nature that this is something because of these events, the fire companies asked about doing this, and then let them know, because I'm not sure if it's within our carve-out area or not.
Yeah,
That we're not-
Well, yeah,
Fire
they're
company.
Yeah, they're gonna go up into the Berks Nature
Yeah.
part.
Does the fire
Oh, all of
company
it's
require
first
a
thing,
Right.
the higher.
Should we have the fire company
Sign a whole harm.
Yes.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Recreation,
If anyone is interested in signing up their kids for the playground, the QR code is up on the Borough website and flyers for the playground by the information board. If you want electronic with that.
I asked Amanda to put that on our Savvy Citizen too, so like when you get an email, the QR code to be there, should be the fillable form, and then some sort of link where they hit a radio button and it comes back to us. Is that all doable?
I don't know about Savvy Citizen, there is like the Google Docs that it's already done, so as soon as you fill it out or anything.
Can you make
Same
Savvy
as-
Citizen have a button that takes them to the Google Doc?
I think it's just a link.
A link?
It's just a- There might be a link in there, like send.
You see what I'm trying to get though, right?
Yeah.
That it's all done, everybody can do it by from their phone, and
Yeah,
then it
make
comes
sure-
back to us.
Yeah, I think we already have 19 or 20 people that have filled out, signed up.
Work on it.
Nice.
Let's go tech, high tech. Planning Commission, anything? We met on the 22nd?
Yep, you already
Transfer.
heard about our meeting.
Yeah. Zoning and planning, any updates? No?
I want to take kind of a step back to the joint comprehensive plan, but it's not really that. I think everyone received an email about 2 or 3 weeks ago from the county. They're having an initiative to basically create zones of comprehensive plans.
Yeah.
They're having it June, I think it's the 21st, basically having a dinner or like a meet and greet or a part of the southeastern Pennsylvania comp plan or
Yeah.
southeastern Berks comp plan.
There's like 8 different zones.
It's us, Exeter, Robinson, so if anyone's.
Mayor, you gonna go?
Interested in going to that.
Oh, I thought,
I'd already said I'd go, but,
She can go too.
yeah, oh, absolutely. You
I
can
say
go.
it's as many as you would like to go. I think it's free there.
Yeah, go, Mayor, go.
when is it?
Can we get it to-
I believe it's a Thursday, I think it's June 21st.
Yeah, I think it's the
Okay.
21st.
Anything in public meetings, announcements, all public meetings held at the St. Lawrence Borough Municipal Building at 135 North Prospect Street. Changes to office hours, Borough will be closed on May 19th for elections and May 25th for Memorial Day. Old business updates regarding the municipal garage, Med-Ed open to encroachment agreement.
So, the email that got back, that I forgot to print out for this, but I can send it to everyone afterwards, that says that they are open to us encroaching into their right of way that exists for this because it does not impede their access to the line. They basically said that they don't have any issues with it, they can access their line from around in the next right of way, there's no issues on there.
Do they have a standard agreement that they use, that they want?
Yeah, they're gonna send us to that,
Okay.
or send us that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the solicitor, we need something besides just an email that guy's authorized to do that and all that other stuff.
Med-Ed will have a standard agreement that I'm sure they're gonna want us to sign, so.
Sounds good.
I'll look it over and get it.
What we did, we added 300 square feet to the building.
Because they're going deeper into where the lines,
South.
yeah, to that line.
We added 10 foot.
Towards the line.
Okay? Anything else about the garage?
They have the site prep going on out there, so if you see it or wanna take a look at it.
Don't drive through it.
I'll try to.
Yeah. Discussion on sewer rate increase.
In here, which I'll have to count it all from the back.
It's under Fritz right after the minutes.
Yeah, okay, right after the minutes, so, there's a bunch of information here basically lining out what our current rate, or current sewer system rates are. And basically going through what our budgetary stuff is currently, and then what our rate increases should probably align with. Currently speaking, our current estimated yearly income for this year compared to last year is about 6% down if you were to take everything from this quarter through the rest of the year based on what our incomes have been.
That's just due to conservation by people, not using as much
Less
water?
I mean, it could be a multitude of things. The other issue we're having is directly related to that because our Q1 income this year compared to last year is down 9%. So we're showing a departure from what our expected incomes are. Now, in addition to that, we are trying to make sure that we stay on top of PA America's rate increases, which haven't happened yet, but we know they're always on the horizon. And then we also try to make sure we have enough money in the sewer fund to have 10-year projects go on. So right now, our estimated shortage from our target income of 420 is 41,000. So for us to be able to get there, you'd be looking at a 10% rate change on the base rate, which would go from 37.50 to 41.40, and then our sewer rate per thousand would go from 750 to 825. Now, in context of that, just right next door, ADMA's rates are 44.27 for their base and 12.05 for their per thousand. So we're still well below theirs.
Current base is 37, is that what you said?
37,550.
Yeah.
They're putting in more.
Got it.
Now, there's a bunch.
750 per gallon, per thousand.
Per thousand.
Yeah.
Our rates have not changed since 2022, and in that time, we increased them from 635 to 750, and we took away the first 1,000 that was included in the base charge of 35 at that point. So we haven't increased rates in 4 years. There is a whole section in the rate increase statistics that you can see as far as what rate percentages look like and how much income they would generate.
Last time we raised sewer rates, we tried to lightly touch the lower end users and heavier touch the heavier users, which would give incentive to try to conserve
Yeah.
water and not hit fixed income people who can't, throttle back much more water usage than what they're doing. So there was always an intent there that higher users tend to pay more, or that's how the rates are uniform.
Do you have different rates for commercial versus residential?
No, everything's standard. I will say, based on just a late survey across the county, every place has a little bit of different methodology. Like Berks has residential, commercial, industrial, and then even on top of that, everyone has residential, commercial, industrial rating per thousand. So you can get even more in depth. I mean, this is just a basic, makes everything even and easy to calculate.
So what you just were saying about, lower income, how does our current process of doing it do that? Because, we have a base rate, everybody pays
Right, yeah.
$7.50.
Right.
And then everybody pays $7.50 or whatever it is
Per thousand.
per 1,000 gallons, the
Right.
exact same.
I'm saying we should, what we had, last time we raised rates, we tried to lightly touch the lower end users, and there was more of a rate increase on the higher end. And if you wanna get that way again, we could or not. So
So you should do that by having this smaller and this larger.
I say you can manipulate
Yeah,
that.
right, you have to.
And part of that was sort of a defense where you don't wanna have, seasoned citizens come in screaming at you because of, rates went up. You wanna be able to say, listen, here's how we did it, we took that in consideration, everybody, the higher users pay more to give them an incentive to use less.
I will say though, even with that 10% increase, you're still lower than everybody anywhere
Yeah,
around.
It's very reasonable, our rates are.
Yeah.
Even with the 10%, you're still lower than all
The
of
people
them.
on fixed income don't care.
Yeah.
Still gotta pay the bills.
Is there any thought of taking that 1,000 gallons back?
I mean, putting it back in,
That would require another estimation of, because you have to basically blank out everything.
I think at one point it was like the first 1,000, everybody had 1,000 going into it, so we just sort of dropped it off, if I remember correctly. It's a long time ago. You guys are actually remember way too much.
Yeah, for a base rate, you got so many thousand gallons, and
You're right.
anything over and above that rate. Yeah.
But I think we had a lower rate once before, and I think we dropped that out.
In 2022, you used to have a base rate of $35, and that included your first 1,000.
Right.
Right.
And then you dropped 1,000 off of that base rate.
Does anybody else do that?
A lot of other places do what an EDU. So basically, you're just charging someone for an estimated amount of gallons, and then once they hit that rate, they have overages
Per the quarter.
per quarter.
EDU goes back to how you have to do your sewer planning modules and
Well,
stuff like that, and
another
it's
thing
way
is-
skewed.
Another
You
thing
know-
is you may or may not inadvertently hurt people that don't use any water, because in EDU, in some places, it's 7,500 gallons.
Yeah.
If you don't use anywhere near that, you're getting charged 7,500 gallons whether you use it or not. We have the capability of everyone getting metered, so you do know exactly what everyone's using.
You take that 1,000 gallons back, at 8.25 gallon, what does that do for our revenue stream?
I would have to look deeper into that. We have to eliminate the first 1,000 users, like the first 1,000 gallon users, and then extrapolate that down to how much that would just change in revenue.
You want to see that for next meeting, and we'll try
I
to
think
move something forward?
Given the topics on the horizon, I think we ought to consider that. Taking a look at it.
Well, you want to add the 1,000 back in to give them 1,000, or you're going to take the 1,000 back? I don't understand.
You want to put the 1,000 back in a base rate, so if anyone doesn't use water that heavily, basically just paying a fixed rate no matter what.
And the idea of that is everybody has to pay something for every pipe that it flows through. So there's a basic fee, for the system, plain for the system.
And I think that's where the base charge should stop. Your usage is your usage. And
That's
it's
what it is.
not giving 1,000 gallons away.
Oh, so you don't, well, we don't do that
Oh, we
right
don't
now.
do that.
We don't do it anymore. We don't.
Yeah, we stopped doing that in 2022. Right now, the base rate covers 0 gallons. You're paying basically for your home, business, whatever, to be connected to the sewer system. That guarantees the
So
pipes.
when you're off on your summer home for 3 months, you'll just be paying the 40 going forward. You want to put this in a resolution for next month?
Well,
We
we
want it
have to
now.
We
You
have
want to advertise it as such
I'm gonna say, the motion would be to advertise a sewer rate increase of,
per this?
well, right now, the suggestion is 10% across the board. Now, if you wanna change it,
I still think if we can somehow light touch lower, heavier touch that, just to be able to make that statement.
I don't know.
It may not.
Really-
Why don't we advertise it as such and run those numbers and we'll see, we can always amend it. Because we can change it, we're just gonna advertise it, correct?
Advertise, but you'd have to re-advertise it if it changed.
so you're advertising the actual dedicated rate that you're going
Right,
to.
you're gonna, right, you're advertising ordinance.
I stick to the 10%, as you have it outlined here.
Other thoughts?
Certainly fair.
It's not fair to lower income people on fixed incomes. Well, you can't say 10% across the board
It's
fair.
still gonna be low if you're not using it, yes, 10% is a lot, but you're not using the water, so that 10% may be
Right.
$1.
Right.
Well,
It's not like
actually, it would be
it's
four.
$4, it's
Right.
not like it's a
Typically,
substantial amount.
yeah,
And I
typically,
understand parents are fixed income, I get it,
those users, those
Yeah.
low-income users aren't using.
they're not using it, and they haven't raised it in a long time, you're 40,000 in the hole, and I mean, it's gotta come from somewhere.
Whatever you all want, motion.
Yeah, I don't know how you do what you're trying to accomplish.
I think his suggestion.
Then you lop off the lowest, users, and you don't put any really increase on them, and then you spread that 10, becomes 11 or 12 across
The higher.
the higher users.
Your
So
suggestion-
basically, leave the current one rate for the first 2,000
The
gallons.
current base,
Right.
you use the current base rate alone, and then you spread the increase.
The increase you need across all 5 units.
As their usage
plus
goes
4,
up, their
right.
rate goes up.
Right.
But then aren't you punishing the people who do use the water for having a higher rate versus people who don't?
Absolutely. They got a chance to use less.
I think you're gonna force businesses out.
No business leaves here because of the water bill or sewer bill.
Well, your suggestion would basically go off of a suggestion of 5% increase for the base rate, which would basically be $1.95 more, so that would make it $39.45 at 5%. And then to be able to still match out getting close to 40,000, you would go to the 8.5 per thousand at 13% increase. And then that would average out as you started using more water or less water. So if you didn't use any water, it's 5%. If you used 12,000 or anything more than 12,000 gallonage, you would be closer to 13%.
I think I'd rather see that. It's up to you guys, if we're getting too clever by half, just say so, The people who are gonna play the most are the people without the most money.
I'll say at that point.
And this way you can stand there and they can yell at you, and you, well, yell at me,
Yeah.
and then say, we purposely left the low end low and moved it, the higher end higher because of that. We've taken that into consideration, what we think is fair.
Yeah, I mean, what you have, as long as you have a reasonable basis for treating different classes of
Right.
users differently, you'll be fine.
And part of the logic is there's so much water, you can't really cut back anymore, on the low end,
What's a typical family usage? Is it around 10, 12?
So, the average is 9.77 if you take out the high users, such as the car wash, the laundry, all that.
The
So
average
that
family.
ends up being 9.77. If you were to take out the commercial businesses, it would be like 7.
That's about right, 'cause that's what we use. Even if we're a family of 3, we use about 10.
And then our actual average usage is 12.6. So,
I hate to tell you what I use.
Again,
Do you ever hold your peace?
what you're doing.
You like-
I like what you're saying, can we see that?
We're conservative.
Yeah.
What'd you say, that base would be 39.45?
it would be $1.95 plus 37.50. So that would be, 39.45. And then if you were to, so that would gain you $5,639 increase in your base rate per year. And then to be able to make up that difference from the 10%, that's at $11,278, you would have to move from $825 per thousand to $850 per thousand. And that would be a 13% increase in the charge per thousand.
And that gets us back,
That would get you 45, almost 41 right on the nose. Figuratively.
I'm in on that. Is there any adverse to that?
Your middle ground users would probably still end up right around 10%, but your lower end users would end up more 5 to 7. And then your high end users would match out at or max out at 13.
I just don't want someone coming in here yelling that their social security only went up 3% when we just charge them 13% more water.
can't argue that.
But what did it go up over the past 5 years?
A lot more than that, a lot more than 3%.
Yeah, the Social Security.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they spent that in bingo.
Can't control that. But you want to encourage people to.
There's a basis of why you lighten load on the low end and heavier load on the back end. And then you can say, we took into account X amount of homes are age dependent or fixed income, and that's how we decide. And then you can take all the criticism you want. I don't know what, the only other criticism they have is why'd you increase it at all?
Yep.
You know,
And you also get is, I thought about swimming pool, so it didn't go down.
well, swimming pool, we're notoriously bad, and someone comes in about the swimming pool, we say no. You know, they just pay sewer and everything.
Yep.
You know, if you can afford a swimming pool, in my world, you can afford the rate.
Or
go buy the water.
Or instead of
Yes.
filling it with your garden hose,
Yeah, go buy water,
bulk water company.
duck water, or
It's
whatever
a
like
lot
that's called.
cheaper.
Okay.
So you're proposing in the lower half, not the yellow highlighted, but the 5% for the base rate increase and the 13% for the per 1,000 gallons. That's what satisfies Bob.
Yeah.
And Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's reasonable.
Works.
And it gets us to our target. I think that's, and it'll help drive some conservation.
So, I think that's our counter argument why we lighten the low end up is have room to have use less. How you do that, God bless,
So I'll make a motion that we propose a rate increase for the sewer with 5% increase to the base rate, increasing by $1.95 to $39.45, increase the per 1,000 gallon charge to $8.50 from the current $7.50.
You want to make this effective June 1st? Okay, July 1st, it'd be June, we adopt in June, July 1st.
Yeah.
As we dropped it.
Yeah, so you can actually make the language adopted for the next quarterly billing cycle.
All right, yep, that's good, that's helpful.
Second.
Motion moved and seconded to adopt, to have a rate increase for our sewer system as discussed.
Right, and to.
Advertise as such.
Authorize advertising
Advertising.
by ordinance.
Right. All those in favor, please, second? So we're gonna move to second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, new business. Resident would like to rent out the playground for an event on May 28th and have an ice cream truck instead of requesting a walk off the street.
This lady is named Ally DeSembrino, I'm sorry if I forgot that name. Yeah. She actually lives on Jacksonville Avenue in the 3400 block. She was interested in the spur there next to the island on Jacksonville Avenue. She was interested in having a ice cream truck parked there and basically have a community event. And instead of her parking on the street, I suggested, well, we do have a playground right there if you'd like to park it where basically the Foursquare is.
Yeah.
Utilize the playground as a community center.
I think it's
Do we have a-
5 to 8 or 6 to 8.
Yeah.
It's only 2 hours.
Don't we have a procedure where someone rents it out for like $10 or something like that?
So if they want to rent the playground bathrooms, it's $100.
100?
Yeah.
But she doesn't
But
want to
that-
do the bathrooms.
Yeah,
She
she
doesn't
just
do the
wants to park the ice cream truck there and let everyone come.
Can you
for
see
free.
how much it would cost to get Wi-Fi locks on those doors, on those? I think the $100 came about because someone had to go unlock the bathrooms and lock them up after the event.
The eventual goal there is to actually have electronic locks and to utilize the handicap bathroom down at the pavilion instead of the 2 main bathrooms and to have an electronic lock on it. That way, anyone that wants to rent it would only need a code to access.
Right.
And basically, they're still responsible for.
So back to, so if she doesn't want to pay the $100, she just wants to put the truck there, that's okay, because the $100 is basically the bathroom out. Is that what you're saying?
So it's up to Borough Council
Yeah.
if they would like to allow that.
I'm still questioning where the $100 came from and why we passed that.
That was many years
It
ago.
was a long, long time ago. It's been like
It
that
just
for a
seems
while.
a little punitive.
I think-
Was it, what, Steve, did you want to do it for something? Did you want to rent?
Yeah, but we didn't.
Because of the $100?
Not because of the $100. Just it didn't work out.
That was just in case someone had to go up there, clean, there was damages, it was.
I think the actual rental is 50. 'cause
The
it's
actual
50
Yeah.
rental
per
is 50 and then a
An extra
deposit.
$50.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little more reasonable.
Will she be
So-
using the playground or just parking?
I'm sure they'll use the playground
Let's
also.
say she can utilize, if kids are there, they can run around the playground.
Yeah.
So you wanna explain it, you wanna explain the bathroom thing, because if you're gonna have an ice cream truck and the kids, I'm surprised that they shouldn't want the bathrooms.
I think it's only like 2 hours that she was gonna do it, and she even said, she was like, we don't need bathrooms up, she doesn't wanna be in charge of everyone, it's just free ice cream for,
A party or something.
Free ice cream.
she said.
She's basic, so she's a realtor, so it's basically her way of engaging.
Yeah.
Ah.
We also,
Network, she's networking with ice cream.
They should be able to afford them.
Steve has now figured out this neighbor.
Yes, Ally.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Yes, they are. And Griff.
Yes.
Yes.
Her
Do
husband.
we have any problem with parking an ice cream truck on the Foursquare?
Crazy Eagle.
No, I mean, we put our trucks up on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Barry the Hatchet.
I would again just have them sign a whole harmless.
Right, right. Okay, yeah.
I heard it.
Do you need a motion for that, or we're just a general consensus that's part of the
Should
playground?
have a motion.
I make a motion to authorize the use of the playground on May 28th for an ice cream truck event.
What are the hours again?
I think 6 to 8.
AM or?
Yeah.
I think it's a breakfast.
It's not-
Is there a second?
I need a second.
Motion, is there a second?
Skill
Second.
games at 9.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion moved second for Ally to use the playground for our ice cream social freebie. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Motion, any opposed? Motion passes. Number 2 item, new business, discussion on proper procedures of residents' complaints. If a borough resident has a complaint, need to call or stop into the borough hall, fill out a form, or they can make the form on the borough website or email it to Derek or Amanda. The borough cannot take complaints through word of mouth or through a friend. I suggest also that I get complaints every once in a while from citizens that want to complain to me. And when I come in, I complain to Amanda. So I think as long as there's a chain, who reported this?
They need to fill
So
one out so
there-
we can
right.
follow up.
There is
That was done in this case.
I know, and I think that, I think as long as a complaint has, who is the complainer, it could be me. And I can say, because my one neighbor,
I'll say this is,
wishes to remain anonymous.
this is a guaranteed procedure. There's a form, that way there's a track, and also someone.
I'm all for that.
Someone owns the complaint.
But I'm not for this, you can't take complaints through word of mouth or
It's that
through
we
a
can
friend.
contact whoever the complaint is, follow up and say, we followed through, do you have any more issues? Here's the trail of evidence. So when they call a week to 6 months later and say, you never did anything, I can give them
That's
actual
fine.
evidence and say, no, here it is. This
Or
is-
you could say you weren't the complainer, you know, and I can only give that information out, like on the snitch thing, so.
We need them to fill a form.
More discussion? All on board with your form? Move on. Discussion on contacting borough professionals. Oh yeah, this is mine all the time. Listen, no one says you can't contact our engineer or our solicitor, but they are consultants and they bill as soon as the phone picks up. At least that's how I could do all my clients. And it's in 6 minutes. If you can get done in 6 minutes and I don't have to do anything, I don't charge someone. Otherwise, it's a 30-minute charge minimum. All right? So I don't know how they run their businesses, but you gotta tell Derek. If you're gonna email them or talk to them, be sure you tell Derek, because he approves the payment to our professionals. And when we don't have any, chain of communication, that breaks apart from a counting point. And no one's saying you cannot call them or talk to them, but you gotta keep borough manager in the loop. That's all we want
I
to do.
think you talk to the borough manager first.
And it doesn't make any difference. They'll never say no. They'll never say no to a council person calling them, because they know better.
Okay.
Because that's how you get killed on stuff when you're a professional, is not responding to someone's request. Just be sure the manager gets involved. Okay, CC.
Now, if they call us, can we get a credit?
Yeah. No, there's no credits. Never. Just ask him, never.
Okay, this all came about because both of these 2 items, because a resident called me, sent me a photograph about the advertising on the chain link fence at the stadium. And we dealt with that 20+ years ago, and everything. So I said, I know we dealt with that before, I don't know what the resolution was. I called Amanda, told her about it. Then I sent Joan an email.
Did you CC Derek or?
And I should have CC'd Derek.
Okay.
I agree with that, that was my mistake. But all I said is exactly what I just said to you, and my question was, do you recall how this was addressed back then, period?
Right.
Didn't ask for.
Doesn't
Did you
matter, I can
recall?
tell you, when a client calls me and says, do you recall, ka-ching, the clock starts.
Right.
That's how businesses work.
And I
I'm just
think I-
explaining how you
I
make
think
sausage.
I think I answered you as far as what I thought that we should do. And
Right, it was very, you know,
Yeah.
if they had faced them toward the inside, there would have been no issue, no problems. They are temporary, from what I've been told, they're supposed to be removed by the end of May, is what I've been told. So they are temporary, which is fine, but they should have really been facing inward.
Inward is the city, yeah.
So,
That was our Sullivan decision back then, that they could have them as long as they weren't a billboard to the public.
Yeah,
But if they
well-
were to the inside, that we didn't have control of
the
that.
resolution back then, it was resolved by allowing them to put advertising around their scoreboard at the back of the stadium. So it wasn't close to the road, it wasn't really visible by the road. That was what the agreement was back then. If they want to hang temporary ones on their sign, have it face inward. So,
So once again, from my perspective, as long as the borough manager's in the loop of the communication, because he's got to be able to prove it, all right?
so I apologize for not including you, sending it to you. I really should have known better.
That's just only one, oh shit.
Well, you'd be out.
I know.
You'd be out of here, man.
Yeah, 100 attaboys. Number 4, resolution 941-2026, alternate delegate for Berks CIT. What do we need there, manager?
No, so actually, Amanda's duly elected herself to that. Basically, the main delegate for this taxing district is in Exeter, which I forget what that,
Her name is Sarah.
yeah, Sarah. And she's the one that is the main delegate for this area. It's just a meeting, basically, just kind of sitting on what's going on.
So we've appointed Amanda our delegate?
As our, it's all.
Alternative.
So
If she
basically,
can't go and they're desperate, then I have to.
Okay.
You have to have a quorum. They have to have a quorum to make.
Please let the minutes show that you're now our alternate to Sarah, whoever that is.
well, that's the resolution.
That's the resolution.
Resolution. To appoint Amanda Musso as alternate delegate for the Berks County Collection Committee.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 941-2026, appointing Amanda Musso, the alternate delegate for the Berks CIT committee.
I'll second it.
Most moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Any other new business? Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion to enter executive session, to discuss potential
Potential
litigation.
litigation. Second?
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
I will make a motion authorizing the solicitor to proceed with the legal actions as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to authorize the solicitor to proceed with legal action. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Already?
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed,